Liverpool are being linked with a number of midfielders this summer, with a Gini Wijnaldum-shaped hole glaringly obvious within Jurgen Klopp's squad. Liverpool insist that they might not sign a midfielder this summer, with other priorities to be sorted first, like signing key men like Fabinho, Mohamed Salah and Alisson Becker to new contracts, and of course there's several fringe players that need shifting too. But if the right player comes available at the right price, expect Liverpool to make a move. So, who are they being linked with, and which players are most likely to be real, genuine targets? Let's start with Renato Sanches. The former Bayern Munich man is starting to show signs of the player he really is, having struggled to live a little bit with the hype during the early days in his career. Signing a player that was once highly rated, then went off the radar, but is really good would be a typical Liverpool signing. They did, of course, the exact same thing when they signed Mohamed Salah. But Sanchez's injury history is slightly checkered, and it appears that the fee that Lille would demand might be slightly too much for the Reds, given the standard of player he is. He would, of course, come in not necessarily guaranteed to be a first-choice starter. Next, there's Pedri, a wonderfully gifted 18-year-old Spanish international who will no doubt go on to have a fantastic career. It makes sense on that front then, but the cost of signing Pedri would be absolutely enormous, and even with funds being needed at Barcelona to extend Lionel Messi's contract, the chances of them wanting to get rid of one of their very top prospects seem unlikely. A move for FC Porto's Otavio has been mooted, but his release clause has reportedly now moved up by €20 million to €60 million, and that simply would be too much for Liverpool to pay. Similarly, Florian Neuhaus's release clause at Borussia Mönchengladbach has supposedly expired, but there is a bit more hope on that front, with German reporters believing there's a kind of gentleman's agreement. If a big enough offer came in, he would be allowed to leave. Gladbach missed out on the Champions League, and if Liverpool felt an offer of £40 million or so was warranted, there's a good chance the Bundesliga side might accept it. Then there's Leicester's Youri Tielemans, again a gifted player, but how much would the Foxes demand for his signing? £70 million would feel like the minimum they might want, and Liverpool simply will not pay that much for the Belgian. Likewise, Yves Bissouma is a player that Liverpool have watched. Stylistically, he makes sense as a Wijnaldum replacement too, but there might well be better value elsewhere in the market, and Liverpool will not overpay. Finally, there's Nicolo Barella, a player who's impressing with Italy at the Euros. He's been linked with Liverpool before, of course, but is this just a case of those links coming back at a time when he happens to be doing really well at a major international tournament? Well, quite possibly. If Liverpool do sign a midfielder this summer, it will have to be the exact right one at the exact right price. Certainly, given Wijnaldum's contract situation, they've had long enough to prepare for what that might be, and no doubt Michael Edwards will have a plan. We'll keep you updated right here on Blood Red as any more transfer developments do take place. But in the meantime, do let us know in the comments who your preferred option would be for Liverpool to target.